Oh crap! I forgot to start this thing the way I went to start it. I started off wrong, and yeah, I started off wrong. But I hope you guys are having a lovely Friday. Happy Friday, you guys! I want to start off with this. I don't know why I didn't do it. I just sat there and just started the live. But Trump's going to jail, y'all. Yeah, America's favorite tool of a husband and billionaire is going to jail. He's going to prisonize. I blame Scrappy for why I talk like that. He may go to prison. I don't know how much he still got in his bank account. Because y'all know it all depends on what's in your bank account before they indict you on something, before they put you in prison. They ain't gonna put you in the prison with your regular common criminals until you don't have money like regular common criminals, which make you think that regular common criminals are always people who are poor. But the truth of the matter is, they're just there because they're broke. They don't have any money. They're low income, and they're black. So I want to read this article. It's not really an article, but I want to read this post by the Neighborhood Talk. It says, the indictment against the former president has been unsealed. I don't know why y'all keep calling that man the president. And the charges against Trump are damning. I have not heard damning in a while, unless I'm watching a 19th century movie. The 37 count indictment accused Trump of lying and scheming and misleading federal investigators in order to hold onto sensitive material that he knew were still classified. The indictment accused Trump of breaking 7 different laws, including 31 counts of willful retention of national defense information and single counts of false statements and representation, conspiracy to obstruct justice, withholding a document or record, corruptly concealing a document in a federal investigation, and a scheme to conceal. I need to write all these crimes down because I did not know. So, okay, I will be honest with you. If it's government documentation, you cannot take it. So let's just say I was a lobbyist and I worked as a lobbyist for the government. I can't take the material that we talked about that day. I can't take it home and show it to my husband or baby daddy or whoever it is that's going to be in the house with me that day. That's what's basically saying. So they're basically saying that Trump is in trouble for taking his work home with him. That's it. That's all, Paul. It says the information Trump took with him when he left the White House included information regarding defense and weapons capabilities of both the U.S. and foreign countries, United States nuclear programs, potential vulnerabilities of the United States and its allies to military attack, and plans for a possible retaliation in response to a foreign attack. So, see what I'm saying? That's information you don't need to be personally taking to your house. On 2 occasions in 2021, Trump showed classified documents to others. In one instance, Trump showed multiple people who lacked security clearances a copy of a plan of attack that, according to a recording of Trump, he described as a highly confidential. The indictment states it quote him as saying, "As president, I could have declassified it, and now I can't. You know it, no, but this is still a secret." Not you over here showing folks that your home skillet biscuit with cheese on the side. Look what I got. What's up with Gemini showing regular citizens classified government documents? You know, that's like a conspiracy that the reason Marilyn Monroe was offed was because Kennedy, a Gemini, Marilyn Monroe's a Gemini too, so you Geminis can't hold your water. It's crazy. It's happening during Gemini season. Happy birthday, Geminis! Can't hold your water. The sign that is known for not holding their water. I mean, Virgo's like that too. But you got to really piss a Virgo off for us to like to expose you. Like you gotta piss off all the next thing you know, we have a whole post dragging your ass. Like, look, let me tell you something. But Gemini Kennedy and Gemini Marilyn Monroe, they said that they were, I'm gonna say allegedly having an affair, and he was pillow talking about Area 51, Area 52. He was pillow talking about stuff. You telling Marilyn Monroe about it, and then Marilyn Monroe, because she's a Gemini, was probably pillow talking to other people about it too, or talking to people about it, telling people about it, and they had to label her as schizophrenic and tell her, say that she's crazy. These are all this is a conspiracy theory and are allegations of, okay, allegedly. And they said that the Kennedy bros, they both told her classified information about the documentation that they had in the White House. Both the Kennedy bros were behind her being off because she knew about the classified information. In return, both the Kennedy bros also was off as well. There goes some Geminis. You don't want nobody to know about nothing. You don't tell a Gemini. I tell you that. Gemini will sit there and tell the whole world about your little secret. Someone told me, because they were Gemini, I'm dragging Geminis during Gemini season. I don't care. I would do it. I gotta do it. Gemini she told me some information about Mr. Granberry smelling a certain type of way back in the day when he was going through puberty. If you want your secret to stay a secret, do not tell a Gemini. That's all I have to say. Back to this. It says also alleged documents were stored everywhere, including on the stage of the Mar-a-Lago ballroom. What? They were also kept in the bathroom and the shower, the filing says. A photo includes the court filing shows about 30 boxes in a bathroom crammed around a toilet and next to a shower with chandelier hanging above. Some of the charges include conspiracy and concealment counts, carrying a maximum prison sentence of 20 years. Trump has denied any wrongdoing and maintained the documents were his to do as he pleased. Now, Blueface mom in the comment section said this look plaintive. I believe it. I mean, Geminis are like that. Geminis, you cannot tell a Gemini a secret. And I'm glad I never told a Gemini my secret, even though when I was in school, most of my friends were air signs, which was majority Libras and Geminis. You can't tell them your secret because it end up on Instagram or on Facebook, or back in the day when you're my age, it was on MySpace or freaking Tumblr. Because y'all like telling stories on Tumblr. These are the documentations. And so it's scattered throughout Trump's Mar-a-Lago's home. Honey, who helped him get this out? Okay? Who helped him get these boxes? He didn't do it by himself. Who helped him do this? What the hell? Oh, Lord. What just happened? Oh, my God. It just went away. Let me find it again. Ooh, you're in trouble. But yeah, why would you? I'm gonna say this, Trump. I know you are Generation Baby Boom. This is where your sons, your youngest son, could come in and say, "Hey, you want to have this information? Damn it, it's gone. You want to have this information? Take a picture of it. Take a picture." My browser click the screen icons address but to allow access to your girl. It said browser didn't block my something. Okay. I'm gonna show you a report of what happened. But back what I was saying, he normally don't do this until Sunday. Anyway, um, this is where the camera phone comes in handy. You find some documentation, you want to expose the United States government, you take a picture of the documents, sir, or you do copies. Out. But they were concealed and secret for a reason. Give me a minute. Okay, as soon as my mic turned off, as soon as I turned my mic off, tell me why he decided to turn his music off now. Okay, so here's a report on what happened.
And Pierre, what are you learning from the people you're talking with?
Well, David, we have been told by sources who have been following the case that Trump is expected to appear on Tuesday to be processed in connection with these charges. And we've been told by multiple sources that the special counsel has specifically been focusing on documents and producing evidence to show that Trump also willfully obstructed the government's efforts to get those documents back. And David, I can put this in perspective. This is perhaps one of the most consequential investigations the Justice Department has done in recent memory. We're talking about investigating a former president who's seeking to be reelected. They knew this was one of the most consequential cases they've ever.
I find it to be funny because I looked at the comment section. Somebody said they just trying to put him in jail before he get elected again because they know he has a very strong possibility of getting office again. But my thing is, if he don't get office, DeSantis is with his demonic self.
Pursued, and I'm told that they have built a case month by month to produce compelling evidence to lay out in detail what Trump did in terms of taking the documents from the White House and then what he did in response to a government subpoena to return those documents. Now, we're also being told that law enforcement and sources will be stepping up security in and around that courthouse in Miami because they don't know quite what the response will be. But again, clearly a very consequential moment, and we'll be hearing more.
Well, you know, Miami is Santa's country, so he's well protected. He's with his people.
More in the coming hours and days, David.
Pierre, just stick with me here because I know your sources are telling you multiple counts. Catherine's reporting at least 7 counts at this hour. And Pierre, as you know, these counts range from obstruction, conspiracy, willful retention of documents pertaining to the national defense. What does this tell you? It would seem it involves more than just the former president when you hear conspiracy being listed as one of these potential. And Pierre, what are you learning from the people you're talking with?
Okay. So, I'm gonna say this: they're gonna put him in jail until election season is over, but that still does not fix the DeSantis problem. So, I mean, you know, that's how I see it. It is not fixing the DeSantis problem. We still have DeSantis out there banning anybody from being anything other than white. Granted, DeSantis is not white. So that's what I'm thinking is about to happen. Which this is starting to look like some Book of Revelation shit. Get mad you want to, say I'm fear mongering. I'm not. It just started to look like that. It just seemed like I don't think y'all understand how crazy this is right now. I don't think y'all get it. Okay, because we're gonna look back in history and realize that really we're in a silent civil war. We're in a silent, cold civil war as we speak. Okay, I never seen Democrats and Republicans be so divided in my life ever. I don't quite understand why it's so much friction between the Democrat and the Republicans. That's crazy. We're all just people at the end of the day. It's the same thing. Like if they couldn't use racism to get us to pull each other apart, that's another thing. They use racism. It's always black and white situation. It's never looking at it just a people situation. And like I said, we can't get past skin deep stuff. This is skin deep stuff. So it's crazy to me how if you can't use racism, you're going to use Democrats and Republicans as an issue. You have Democrats telling black people that Republicans are racist, and racists are telling black people that the Democrats are racist. Because they're going back to the whole 200 years ago thing that the Democrats were for slavery. So it's crazy to me. Like, y'all don't realize how disrupted the government is. Y'all don't realize how disheveled the government is. And this is the first time in my generation, because I'm a 90s baby. I'm a 90s baby, 90s kid, early 2000 teenager. And I've never seen anything like this before. Everybody would tell you they go all the way back to Nixon, Mr. Watergate himself. This is the first time since then. The first time. Well, the last time we had some people was when Bill Clinton got in trouble for getting oral sex. But it wasn't like, to me, it wasn't to this level of where literally your president is doing conspiracy theorist work. He got in office, got some classified documentation, took the classified documentation, showed all his friends and saying, look at this. Look at that. I know. I mean, he got all the strategy just in case China want to kick our asses. He got all the strategy just in case we want to kick our own asses. He just got information that no one person should have. Okay? Like Kanye said, no man should have all that power. So it's scary because I don't think y'all realize for him to have that documentation and for them to put him in jail for having that documentation, I swing both ways in this. When I say this is why you don't put a businessman in office. Okay? 1. And 2, you put people in office who are used to seeing bills and used to seeing documentations like this and understand how dangerous it is for the common man to get this information. Hell, they might even have the nuclear codes for the missiles. This is dangerous. So this is crazy. But this is also very Gemini. So it's going to be interesting the way it's going to play out. I don't know if he's going to jail. Do he still have money in his bank account? If he has I'm going to say this. If he has only $50 million in his bank account, then he might go to prison. $50 million is broke in the rich white people world. You're broke. Next story. This is this whole situation with the Colorado wife finds her husband passed away. I'm talking about this on my podcast. I'm going to talk about this because this is screaming like I don't get it. So just to update you, if you're living under a rock, and you have to be living under a rock if you have not heard about this whole situation, but a mother of four was taken out because she went to her neighbor's yard, to see if her kids' iPad was still in the neighbor's yard. So the lady took her out. Now it's being reported that the lady did not like black kids at all. Oh, you think? So it says more information is being revealed about what led up to the fatal shooting of Ajike AJ, they call her AJ Owens, a Florida mother of four who was shot and killed by her white neighbor, Susan Lorenz. She don't even look like she's white. She's more like an off-white, like, an ethnic white, Eastern European standard. According to the Huffington Post, Susan had reportedly admitted to police that she had used racial slurs toward the children multiple times in the past, and she reportedly used one the night of the shooting. The report from the Marion County Sheriff's Office said that Lorenz, 58, admitted to detectives that she called the children the N-word in the past. She claimed that she always had a problem with the children not respecting her in the neighborhood. She said Owen's children have threatened to kill her before, so she was already on edge coming into the most recent situation. The day of the shooting, Lorenz told investigators she had a headache and that the neighbors were outside screaming and yelling. Kids were running around. That's what kids do outside. I don't know if you know this, but that's what they do. In a grass area separated two apartment buildings, including hers. She had previously put up a no trespassing sign to keep the kids away from her house, despite the grassy areas being open to all tenants. And this is where they're going to justify taking out another black life again. And I hate this. The night of the shooting, while few children were playing basketball, Lorenz came outside to throw a pair of roller skates at them, hitting one on the feet, according to the report. One of the children claimed that Lorenz also flipped them off and called them the black slaves. I'm pretty sure that whatever ethnic background you is, you would be a slave too. That's when Owens then knocked on her door to confront the woman. Lorenz claimed that Owens banged on the door so hard everything started shaking, and she thought that the door was going to come off. And then she panicked and said to herself, "Oh my God, she's really going to kill me this time." Then when Lorenz fired a single round from her .38 caliber handgun, the report says, taking out Owen. So she's in behind bars for first degree felony, a manslaughter with a firearm, as well as culpable negligence, battery, and 2 counts of assault. I hope there was a ring camera showing what exactly happened. I don't think that lady was knocking on that door that hard, and she was knocking on the door to get an iPad out the kids out her yard. That's all she simply was just doing. She was just trying to be neighborly. I don't know what this lady was thinking. And the first thing white people love to do is say that black people don't raise their kids. Well, how we can raise our kids if you taking our lives? And these kids are now without their mother. But I'm not gonna make any assumptions. I'm gonna just let the whole case play out. Um, this is very unfortunate, and she should be in jail. And the reason I say that she's off white, she's like Eastern European standard style. I said that because if she was white, she would still be out. Her ass is in jail. So clearly, she has a form of the complexion, but she's not really the complexion. Let me drag this cow hog right here. Oh, stinking ass. Oh, stank ass. Let me drag this fool right here. Let me drop, kick, punch, stab him in the neck. Let him walk away with blood squirting down his neck. Let me do that. I want to do that real quick. Because I don't like him. I don't like him. He's weird. He's weird. He's giving weird. So he's accused of swiping phone, kicking woman in alleged Vegas robbery. I mean, I'm not surprised he's kicking women. I mean, did y'all see the foolishness he did with his baby mama? She sat there drunk. And you can see her underwear. And he thinks it's funny, and she thinks it's funny, and their kids are gonna hate them when they get older. And guess who's gonna have to take care of their traumatized kids? Me, the therapist, Lady T. He ended up in prison, but look at how he acts about it. Because he felt some kind of ways. Okay.
Then, and Pierre.
Okay, well, I did that. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Don't have any more information. He mad. Of course, Jane, like a fool, picks this clown, take this clown out of jail because he's the father of my children. I have to take him out of prison. I don't want my kids in jail. So she went and picked up this clown who thought it was cute to prison, the same one that showed her in her underwear drunk as a skunk. I can't take it. I'm drunk. I don't know. How did I get on the floor? It's not funny. Y'all be dragging her as if she's not a victim to what Christian did to her. Christian did some awful things to her, but I'll be straight up honest with you. She also has to set the standard for herself. You can't keep taking back someone that keeps dogging you out as well. But she decided to take the dog out the cage.
At the jail, seeing your bitch waiting right here for you, don't get?
Then on top of that, he called you his bitch.
How long you been waiting right here?
Hey, I've been waiting hours.
Okay.
I got a blunt. I got a bottle.
You got the
Girl, she wrote his blunt for him. She got his little Hennessy on the side. She wants to make sure that her man is taken care of. Okay. You know, even though he has a child coming with Christian, allegedly.
the cuddle?
Yeah.
And, oh yeah. Told me up. To the feeling walking out the jail. Seeing.
I like Greensboro. I don't
But I'm glad I ain't gonna run.
What's up, man?
But my life be like that. If I was on a flight to here or a flight to there, it'd be
There's
like,
bad.
Okay, so this is Christian, and Christian, she of course had to say something about it too. He's an Aquarius. And Christian said she don't care. He need to be in jail. He the devil. So Christian is getting her common sense back. It's probably because of the baby. Babies have a tendency to make dumb people smart. Yeah, remember that episode of My Wife and Kids when Junior's a dumber than a box of rocks, but they gave him a baby and then all of a sudden he knew how to do math, like very hard math.
no, but what's the court? Just because I'm down as fuck, they would have got me there. They just got him. Good. That nigga got me. Real
But
shit.
she don't feel bad for him until that dopamine hit her, and then she wants to be in love again with him. Cause women that have the dopamine spike when they have a baby, and then it's like, oh, I'm so in love with you. Look at our son. We're together. It's so cute. These are real things, scientifically proven, by the way. I'm not just talking. I'm telling you facts. Like, she ain't bouncing with him no more. She probably feel like crap. Morning sickness suck. Her back hurt. Her feet hurt. She's peeing all the time. Okay, and her boobies are tender. But then, for some reason, women fall back in love with their baby daddy or their husband after they have a baby, and this really do happen. This is real. It's a fact of life. She get it. Oh my goodness, I hate this. My charger fell out my phone again. Thank God my phone's not dying. So yeah, that's what's going on. Let me see. I'm not gonna talk about Willie yet. I ain't gonna talk about Willie. Just a little smoke humor. So I thought this was funny. Y'all remember the whole situation with Chica and Zonique, them having the most ignorant fight ever. So somebody said, "Who cares? Did you apologize to the mom and children?" Which I'm confused. I'm still confused because she said it was twins there, and Zonique said those were her kids. And as far as I'm concerned, Zonique has a daughter, not twins. So I'm kind of confused. And she says, "Why would I do that? Because we don't take accountability." She said, "It wouldn't be sincere. I'm sorry you saw it. I'm not sorry for saying what I said because it wasn't personal. It was venting about scenario strangers. I don't care like that. Plus, Shorty tried to insult me back so at that point she wasn't even on the flight. It was some nanny. But anyway, not talking about it anymore. The internet shit ain't real. Hate me if you want to, but don't be deluded enough to think I give a frosted mini fuck about how you feel about me. You DK me. Mm, what does DK means? Tell your therapist or tweet it out like I did." It says nah, and somebody said nah, you a musty hoe who will probably report it. Get some soap. And she said, imagine coming on the scent of someone you can't afford to sit beside. So she said it wasn't even something that was personal. It wasn't that big of a deal. I get that, but I don't understand why would you call kids out of their name. Those are children. I don't understand why you calling kids bad name. Oh my god, my toes about to start cramping up again. Oh my god, last night was it? No, it was this morning. My foot cramped up for no reason. I wasn't doing anything. I was just in the bed. Just my feet was doing the same thing. My foot cramped up. And I'm like, ugh, and I hate it. I hate it. And it hurt because the foot, where my foot was cramped up, and I had to keep it from hurting anymore. It's like the trolley horse. Like you get a trolley horse, so you stretch your leg out so the trolley horse don't start hurting. I don't get trolley horses no more. I just get up. I just so happen to get up before the trolley horse start hurting. Start hurting. So yeah, they were talking about her weight. I'm trying to figure out. I'm like, those were Zonique's kids. I'm still confused about this whole situation, but she said it's nothing. I still don't get it because she said it was twins. There were 2 kids there, so those was Zonique. Zonique only has 1 child. I don't get it. Of course, Regine came in here or whatever. They said it's over. It was just a kerfuffle and it was ignorant. And it was ignorant. I'm trying to figure out. They said it was, she said it was twins. So was Zonique child and her sister too? Zonique's sister? Because Zonique got a sister that's the same age as her daughter. But she said 2 1-year-olds. Oh, whatever. Nobody cares. All right. Let's talk about John Amos real quick. I'm going to go ahead and talk about John Amos. So, John Amos' daughter came on live and said that basically her father was being taken advantage of, and that when she was going to start a GoFundMe in honor of him to help him get his money back because there are people taking advantage of him and his money. And
Hey, Daddy, you ready?
so this is what she's saying. This is her right here. I can't play that because it has a song in it. This is her with her father. And she said he's in poor health. And she's dancing because she's playing Luther Vandross' Dance with My Father again. I guess it's not a video of her talking. So John Amos came out and said that his daughter's lying about his health condition and has no idea why she would start a GoFundMe in his honor. Okay. So then she came back to talk about what's happening.
Hey, it's me again. I just saw that a TMZ story broke. Half of the story broke. There's definitely another side to that story. So I'm live here. Hello, everyone. I see that a TMZ story broke, and unfortunately, it says some really like that I made this up, which is not true. And so I would invite TMZ to do some accurate reporting and check with the Colorado Bureau of Investigations to see if there is in fact a real case, because there is, and I am not crazy. So thank you, TMZ, for breaking the story, but I want you to report it accurately. And all due respect to my father's response, I understand that this is embarrassing and upsetting and probably not what he would have wanted me to do, but it is in his best interest. And to the travel agent pretending to be a real publicist, Belinda Foster, yeah, for real, really? Come on. Like, this story is, you all have no idea what is really going on. And because I don't want to have any defamation of character or slander, I can't name names yet, but do some homework. I invite you all to do some homework, do a little digging, do a little research, and figure this out for yourselves. This is real. And TMZ, if you're watching, I've sent you my number, and you are more than welcome to reach out to me for the real story. My reputation and integrity is everything. And my family, my lawyers, and my dad's closest friends are standing with me on this. Yes, closest family and friends. And so I hope that justice is served. I understand that this isn't the narrative that my father would like to put out, but I'm going to stand in the truth, because one thing I know, that if I don't, this is going to happen again and again and again. And so far, this person has gotten away with this, and it's not going to happen this time. I don't care where we have to go. I'm not going through this again. So, TMZ, if you're there and you want the real story, call me up. Call me up. I'm happy to share. And actually, I would actually rather go to a credible, uh, newsworthy outlet and share the real story, because I have the real story and I have the receipts, all of the receipts. So I hope you all will support me in this. I promise you, with everything that I have, this is the truth. And I know there's going to be trolls, and I know there's going to be backlash. I knew that when I stepped into this space and decided to share publicly. And I'm doing it whether my dad likes it or not, to protect his best interest, to protect my family's best interest, so that the perpetrator or perpetrators will go to jail this time. Unfortunately, law enforcement hasn't really had been able to do this, and this is why we have lawyers, and this is why we're doing the things that we're doing. So my GoFundMe campaign, TMZ, is for a real purpose, and that is to protect and take care of my dad in this time. And I would love to see the credentials of Miss Foster, and if she has them, good for you. But I'm going to just say this, that I have all the receipts, all of them, photos, videos, everything. So, and just check with Colorado Bureau of Investigations and you'll get the truth. So I'm signing out now. I'm sending love and light to everyone. When you walk in your truth and when you walk with integrity, trust me, doors swing wide open. The people who are playing the games, who are pulling the strings, who are manipulating even my father or his words, it's all going to come out. And what my grandmother used to say, what doesn't come out in the wash will come out in the rinse. So I am sending love to everyone, and I'm sending prayers and blessings and continued healing to my dad. And I hope that justice is served. Thank you so much, y'all. And share this story, share this, and at TMZ, you know how to reach me. I'm right here.
This has happened time after time, especially when really famous people, legendary famous people, unfortunately, when they get older, they have a whole lot of people around them who are trying to suck the life out of them. So this is very common, and it's very confusing because everybody wants to hear what the dad has to say. But if he's suffering from a certain situation, or suffering from thing like something like dementia, um, he's going to only remember the people who are around him in that moment. So if he only trusts certain people to get himself out there, he's not going to be saying or doing what he wants to do, what he wants to say, exactly the way he's supposed to say it. So I hope she get the justice that she deserves in this situation, because this is very common to happen. It happened to Stan Lee. People say that about Stan Lee, like people who are around Stan Lee, the people who are around him, they want people who are really looking out for him. They're making sure they line their pockets first before he got his pocket line. So you got to protect your legacy. You got to protect your dad and his legacy. Okay. This feels like podcast stuff. That's podcast stuff. Okay. I want to talk about this story right here. I want you to hear what happened. So there was a TikToker making fun of this lady Um, because she was sleeping on a bench, a bus stop bench. So I want y'all to hear what happened in this situation. This is why you don't judge.
So y'all, this is a picture of my mother, bruh. This is the lady that carried me for 9 months, getting picked at, getting bullied all over the internet. Now this post is old, but just look at how early it was. You know what I'm saying? Like, and people doing this to my mama on social media. Like, and I know a lot of people on the outside looking in would be like, well, dang, if that's your mama, why you not taking care of your mama? Why you not doing this? Why is she in that position and whatever? But let me tell y'all something. My mom, she suffered from mental illness. My mom, she's schizophrenic. She's bipolar. She got a lot going on. And my oldest brother, he committed suicide in 2013. And that triggered her and made her even worse than she already was. So it's like until my mom really get committed into a hospital and stay in there for a little while where she gets better, she's probably going to be not in the best position that she can be in. And with all that being said, if you're crazy and you can't act right, you can't have a job, you can't make money, and you're going to be on them streets because you can't get your life together. So it's deeper than it sounds. But, the whole purpose of this video is because I want y'all to see how evil people are and how corrupt people are. And it's crazy because people be wondering why they going through what they going through. But it's the shit that you out here doing. I never record nothing like this or take a picture of somebody sitting at no damn bus stop and put them on social media and pick at them. Mind you, I was all the way in California when somebody screenshot this and sent it to me, and they had a screen recording where they was scrolling through the comments for me and showing me what a lot of people were saying. Like, yeah, man, that's that bitch that always be asking for change, man. She's so aggravating. Yeah, I be seeing her on the river all the time, man. She's so, man, that bitch crazy. Like, calling my mama a bitch and all. Like, motherfuckers just don't care. And then it be your own people. This black people shit. How many times you seen a white person take a picture of somebody and post this and pick at them? For anything, they'll be busy trying to help. You feel me? But I got my mama together, and I want y'all to see on this next video.
Hold on, do it again.
I want y'all to see how beautiful my mama is, and she don't deserve that shit, but we all good over here. So, y'all, this is a picture of my mother, bruh. This is the lady that carried me for 9 months, getting picked at, getting bullied all over the internet. Now, this post is old, but just look at how early it was. You know what I'm saying?
And this is a generation that's always talking about something. You need to go get mental help. You need to go get mental help. You need to go get mental help. But y'all think it's funny when someone who it needs mental help and family try to help them, but they're not able to get her to go get help. And this is what happens to them. You feel the need to make fun of them and thought it was funny. I didn't know that I didn't think she had a mental illness. I just thought she was tired or sleepy. But for you to refer to someone's mom as a bitch just because you misunderstand what's going on because you assume that you know what's exactly going on with her, it's sad and it's demented. It's demented. It's just like in my hometown, these group of boys. And she said, white people don't do this. Yes, they do. There's a video going around in my hometown. Let me see if I can find it on my Twitter. If I can find it on my Twitter. Oh, no, I can't. Because they don't have the thing, that stuff like that on here. But my cousin, one of my family members showed me a video of these. It's because it's not just black people that do it; white people do it too. They'll pick on somebody who has Down syndrome or is autistic. They'll pick on them. It's not just black people. Trust and believe. Okay. So let's change the narrative about that black people are the only people that pick on folks with disabilities. There was a video of these teenage boys beating up on a boy who was autistic, who's mentally delayed. It's not just us. Stop putting the narrative out there where black people do stuff like this. Let me tell you, it's not just black people. White people do it too. Let's change that narrative first and foremost. But I will say this: it's disgusting that people see somebody in their lowest and use it to make them feel high. That's what makes this whole situation sad. That's what makes this whole situation disgusting. I hope that she's able to find a way to get her mother the help that she needs, because, to protect her from disgusting ass people who feel the need to take pictures of her and make fun of her condition and situation. Look at this. Okay. So this young lady went to social media and said, "Pray for me, guys. I have a job interview in 20 minutes." She got the job. Look where she got the job at, y'all. Look what she got the job at. I know Braz is hired. So look at that. Look at that. She said that she got a job with Brazzers and she's happy. And she didn't get a job with Brazzers to be, do background work or anything like that. She got a job with Brazzers to be an actress. Dreams really do come true. Oh no, that's not my material. That's not my material neither. That's not mine. All right. Oh wait, let me end this off with Brian McKnight stuff. I have a whole lot of Brian McKnight stuff I have not talked about. Um, I do. So I want to talk about Brian McKnight real quick. Why do I still have her thing? Okay. What's up? Let me. I'm gonna talk about this another day. Of course, I'm gonna talk about this another day as well. So I want to talk about the Brian McKnight situation because it's genuinely getting on my nerves. Oh look, another Gemini. I don't get it. The drama started with the fact that he bought his stepdaughter a car. And he did not claim his children. And then he named his son with his new wife, Brian McKnight Jr. Okay. Okay. So Brian McKnight finally came out. I found this on a lovely tea. Brian McKnight finally came out and finally spoke out about abandoning his children. One is like a dream come true. Two. How do I get this out my save, by the way? It's like I got lovely tea stuff and I can't get it off because I don't have the thing that shows it saved.
McKnight here. There's been a lot of discussion online lately about how I talk about my family on social media. Typically, I prefer not to give attention to the internet trolls, but now my family is being harassed online and accosted in public, apparently because some people can't handle seeing my happily ever after. Coming after me is one thing, but the moment you come after my wife and our children, it's another story, because even more important to me than defending my name is defending and protecting them. I want to address some of these recent discussions. There is a very simple reason why I post about some of my children on social media and not others. The children that I do not currently have relationships with, I don't post about them. Instead, I post about the children with whom I do have relationships, with whom I am proud of. Brian McKnight here. There's been a lot of discussion online lately about how I talk about my family on social media. Typically, I prefer not to give attention to the internet trolls, but now my family's. There is a very simple reason why I post about some of my children on social media and not others. The children that I do not currently have relationships with, I don't post about them. Instead, I post about the children with whom I do have relationships, with whom I am proud of, and about whom I want to share my pride in their accomplishments. I don't live in the past. I live in the present and the future. I am so proud of the man I am today, the husband I am to my wife Leilani, and the father I am to our children. I'm so proud of our love, our family, our life. So I will, without apology, continue to shout about it as loud as I can. If you can't help or handle seeing happiness and love, then I respectfully ask you, why are you even on my page? Maybe you should ask yourself that too. There is a very simple reason why I post about some of my children on social media and not others. The children that I do not currently have relationships with, I don't post about. In 2020, my biological daughter Brianna sued me for defamation and breach of contract. I posted a page from the lawsuit here and the file number down below so you can look this up for yourself. And you will see that she did not ask for an apology or even ask that I remove the alleged false statement from the internet. All she asked for and all she wanted was money. The case was dismissed before there was any decision whether my statement about her was defamatory. We settled the case earlier this year, and I agreed to pay Brianna some money, but here's the interesting part. She sued me for defamation and breach of $1 million life insurance policy, and I agreed to pay her $318,000 with no admission of any wrongdoing whatsoever. In 2020, my biological daughter Brianna sued me for defamation and breach of contract. I posted a page from the lawsuit here and the file number down below so you can look this up for yourself. And you will see that she did not ask for an apology or even ask that I remove the alleged false statement from the internet whatsoever. You heard that right. She dismissed $1 million case in exchange for payment of $318,000 with no admission that I did anything wrong and no requirement that I retract my statement or remove it from the internet. If someone said that I did something I didn't do and I want a case proving that I didn't, I demand a public apology. I demand an acknowledgement of wrongdoing, and I demand a retraction of statements. The face value of that life insurance policy was $300,000 with $18,000 worth of interest. I did not defame her. I made no false statements. I made up no stories. You can do what you will with that information in deciding who you think won the case. I know that some people on the internet would rather not know the truth about what happened, but for those of you with an open mind who are more interested in facts than rumors, I hope this helps explain what really happened whatsoever. You heard that right. She dismissed $1 million case in exchange for payment of $318,000 with no admission that I did anything wrong and no requirement that I retract my statement or remove it from the internet. If someone said that I did something I didn't do and I want a case proving that I didn't, I demand a public apology. I demand an acknowledgement of wrongdoing, and I demand a retraction of statements. Finally, I want to address the abandonment issue for the last time. Those kids and I have had a long history of conflicts, mutual estrangements, and resolutions. But there was a time when we were truly a successfully blended family. Julia, Jack, BJ, Nico, and Brianna. Our home was filled with love and acceptance, so much so that the kids were all calling each other siblings, contrary to the picture that's been painted online. Christmases, birthdays, Thanksgivings, Friendsgivings, all spent together, even standing up for me as my best man in our wedding, along with their brother Jack, which I posted a pic of here. Shortly thereafter, the same conflict over money arose again. We parted ways, and the next thing I knew, there were 2 posts from Brian and Brianna in 2019 telling the world a completely different narrative. Finally, I never abandoned anyone. Our estrangement was mutual, but those posts made any roads towards reconciliation and acknowledging them a dead issue. And I changed my will the next day. I've spent the last 30 plus years building a recognized, respectable name, and ironically, there are still people out there who are trying to smear my name while still carrying it, hoping to use it for their own benefit. I make absolutely no apologies for naming my infant son Brian. I want him and the world to know that he is the one who is my true legacy. So I'll be over here, continuing to love and protect my wife and our children as we continue to love our life. I never abandoned.
Hi, family. Just here to say thank you. We appreciate you. We see you. We hear you. We feel it. We thank you. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your kind words. Thank you for your strength. Thank you for your stories that let us know that you understand and that everything is experienced to help others. You find your tribe. You get stronger. It's life and I've learned that the best way to go through it, the best way to endure it, the best way to learn from it, the best way to prosper in it is to elevate. Stay positive. Doesn't mean you don't get upset. It doesn't mean that. And I've learned that the best way to go through it, the best way to endure it, the best way to learn from it, the best way to prosper. You don't want to, you know what I mean? But don't lower your vibration. Raise it. It's almost the weekend, y'all. Come on. We love you and we appreciate you. And we're all right. You don't want to, you know what I mean? But don't lower.
Apparently, I was talking to Static because I was sitting up here explaining the whole situation with Brian Midnight and his whole situation. His ex said nothing but to tell y'all to be high vibrational creatures. In other words, is you make your bed, you have to live in it. That's what I got from it. You make your bed, you have to live in it. This is gonna come back and bite Brian in the butt. It really is. I hate saying it, but it is. This is gonna bite Brian in the butt. I think he made his will a little bit too soon. And people have motives, including new wives and new children. So he might want to be careful with that. Because we all get older in the end. And you don't want your kids hating you. And then when magically something happens to you because the new wife is on some Black Widow shit, might want to talk to your original family. And I think that's what's going to happen with Brian McKnight. I genuinely do. I think what's going to happen is that he's going to regret what he's doing right now. I feel that way. He's being petty to his children. Granted, they're grown. And they're grown. But be careful who you thumb your nose at. Just be careful who you thumb your nose at. Be very careful. I have a whole lot of stuff I was going to tell y'all about, and I didn't talk about it. But I will talk about it soon. With that being said, I hope you guys have a lovely Friday. I might come back on here on Saturday. I might come back here on Sunday. It all depends on how I feel. Thank you guys for coming to my live. I am so